What's good, y'all? Rich Sosa back in a building with another banger. Now, first things first, before we go ahead and get started, I gotta say thank God for another day and another opportunity. And as y'all can see from the looks of the title and the screen, today I got a very special build in store for y'all. Now this one, I'm gonna be calling it the 7-foot Schnitzel, and for anybody who knows, this build will be reminding me of DIRK NOWITZKI. Now it's going to be coming out to an inside out score, and what's really special about today's build is that we'll be able to reach a 99 plus towards our close shot, post control, 3-pointer, pass accuracy, block, and defensive rebound. Now as far as for animations, we'll get the pro big man contact dunks with a total of 46 badges. Now 3 of those are Hall of Fame, and my favorites are Masher, Post Fade Phenom with Pro Touch. We'll also be able to get 18 gold, and some of them were Dream Shake, Hook Specialist, Fearless Finisher, Anchor, and Drop Stepper. Now we'll also get 18 silver and 7 bronze, some of those being Limitless Range and Posterizer. Now for this build, it's really going to remind me of the European League type of basketball, and it's really great for a two-way post scoring build. Now it's an inside out 3-point build that can make pretty much any type of shot and is very versatile. Now as far as for the strength, this is more than enough to keep up with any build, and I think the speed is great just to defend any guard. So before we get any further, if it's your first time coming through, be sure to hit that sub button if you're new, smash that like button, turn on post notifications to be a part of the Rich family, and last but definitely not least, comment down TG for Thank God King Jesus and where you're tuning in from, and I most definitely will be sure to get back to y'all with a response. So the first thing that we need to do is put this build under the center position. As far as when it comes to the height, let's go with 7'1" with the weight of 241. Getting into the breakdown of the wingspan, I'm going to go with 7'2", and this really opens up the floor for the rest of the offensive end. Now once we get into the attributes, the first area that I'm going to get into is going to be the speed. Put this all the way up to a 62. Getting into the acceleration, move this one tick up to a 48 with an 84 when it comes to our strength. Now as for when it comes to the vertical, make sure you go with a 75, and this is going to be crucial for those contact dunks. As for when it comes to our stamina, I'm going to go with a 93, and this right here is perfect for this build. Now remember, once you do your Gatorade workouts, we get a +4 put towards these attributes, so we'll read a 66 speed. As for the acceleration, this is going to be a 52, 88 strength, 79 vertical with a 97 stamina. Now let's get into the rest of this build, and the first area that I'm starting with is going to be that defensive end. Put the rebounding for the defense up to a 92. As for when it comes to the offensive, leave this at a 57. Go with a 97 for our block today. And then getting into the perimeter defense, go with a 64. We're going to sacrifice this steal today and get more, and allowing ourselves to defend more type of builds. And then as for the interior, I'm going to go with a 77, and I really think that this is going to be best, especially when it comes to the badges. Now I'll go over the badges once I complete this build maxed out. Getting into the playmaking, go ahead and put your pass accuracy up to an 86. Now as for when it comes to the ball handle, this is optional, but I decided to go with a 55. Now we pretty much are solid out of this area, especially with a high pass accuracy really allows you to be more versatile, and the 55 really does open up the floor because it unlocks the normal dribble moves. Now as far as when it comes to the shooting, go ahead and put that mid-range shot all the way up to a 70, move up the 3-point shot to an 85, and then as for the free throw itself, I'm going to leave this at a 60. Now if you add everything up when it comes to activating your takeover, also bind boost, you'll definitely be able to get this 3-pointer to that 99 range. As for when it comes to the finishing, go ahead and put that post control up to an 85. Getting into the standing dunk, I decided to go with an 81. And then moving into our driving dunk, go with a 73. Now moving into the driving layup, leave this at a 53. And then for the close shot, put the rest into this area, and we're going to meet this at a 94. As you can see with the badges, my favorites are going to be Fast Twitch on gold. We'll also be able to get gold Fearless Finisher, Master on Hall of Fame, Gold Hook Specialist, Post Fade Phenom with Dream Shake. Overall, this build I think is definitely deadly for the post scoring end. As we move down the list, another badge that I really enjoy this year is Fearless Finisher. Now as you can see, we'll also be able to get Hall of Fame Pro Touch, Whistle on gold, and Silver Spin Cycle. Now as far as for the driving layup, I do like Posterizer, Slithery as well. Same exact thing when it comes to the standing dunk. I think Rise Up is very important. And then as for the post control, we get Gold Drop Stepper, Silver Unpluckable, and Back Down Punisher. This build overall, I think it's super special on the offensive end. Now for the midi, as you can see, we get Silver Blinder Steel, Hall of Fame Post Fade Phenom. I think overall this is one of the best inside out builds to make. And for the 3-pointer, as you can see, we get Bronze, Limitless Range, Silver Green Machine. I think everything for this build is pretty complete, especially for a big man. Now we have that high pass accuracy, we'll be able to get Gold Break Starter. Even Dimer, as well as Post Playmaker with Special Delivery, are going to make a huge difference. Now like I mentioned earlier, the ball handle will allow us to get the normal signature moves unlocked, and that really does open up the floor. Getting into the defensive end, we get Gold Anchor with Bronze Post Lockdown. As far as for the perimeter, once you activate your takeover, I think having a 70+ perimeter defense is pretty strong for a 7-1 build. As for the block itself, we'll also be able to get Gold Pogo Stick and Silver Chase Down Artist. For this build, I think it's definitely one of the best that you can make. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. Is there anything that you would possibly do to make it a little better? Now overall, I think it does remind me of DIRK NOWITZKI the most. Now from here, let's go ahead and move forward to make sure that everybody made this build correctly. Now we should be able to get these 3 different comparisons. And as y'all can see, together we have created the unique, what I'm calling 7-foot schnitzel build, which comes out to an inside out score. Now this is definitely a juggernaut of an offensive build. Once you add up your boosts that you can acquire from buying, activate your takeover, wearing gear, and also the boost that you get from playing well throughout each game. These attributes, I'm telling y'all, some of the best that you can possibly get. A lot of them are going to go into the 70s and 80s, and even the 80s to the 90s when it comes to adding boosts. Just something that I feel like everybody should know and think about moving forward. But I really do want to say thank y'all for the support and everybody who made it this far. More so than anything, thank you God King Jesus for another day and another opportunity. And if it was your first time coming through, be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Smash that like button. Turn on post notifications to be a part of the rich family. And last but definitely not least, comment down TG for thank God King Jesus and where you're tuning in from. And I most definitely will be sure to get back to y'all with a response. And with all that being said though, I got one last thing to say. Rich out.